Welcome back, family, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Balance gets a surprise, Pintor takes a nap, Rhal explores his options, and Zaltanna admits a dangerous truth. Rhal, having explored his options thoroughly, patiently awaited the return of Balance and Zaltanna. Now that friends and family have been reunited, Rhal still has to explain what happened to Squash, as well as the threats he saw within the vault. Could someone identify the threats Rhal found? What will the reunited Dathlideers do now? And would Tyr abandon Zaltanna now that she has voiced her plans? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
Your mom. It's been a good 50 years.
One might say that. Balance probably holds the hug for a while as he's crying and probably staining whatever attire she's currently wearing.
As I said before, she's wearing like threadbare stuff. She's definitely seen better days.
He doesn't care then. It's fine.
No.
It's not a fancy motherly dress.
No, it's not a fancy mom dress or a fancy silk robe. Like, it may have been once, but it certainly isn't anymore. It's in tatters and in ruin. Yeah, she pulls back and she kind of like being about the same height. She kind of like wipes the tears from your eyes with her thumbs. Okay. We need to get out of here.
That's an understatement. Where's father?
They're just down the stairs. Pintor was waking up as we heard you guys coming. So,
are you all right?
She puts her one hand protectively across her stomach and bends down and picks up the bow, the quiver of arrows still in her bag. Says, "I've seen better days, and I feel like the size of a tree right now, but I'm not the worst one here right now." And she shoulders the bow and gestures for you guys to go down the stairs.
Right.
The stairs are kind of steep. And they're not horrifically steep, but they're kind of steep. About halfway down, you can see Pintor, who is kind of coming back to consciousness. You are just waking up, Pintor. You can see that he's lying in the lap of your father, who is... he really has seen better days. He is in an absolute state. Zelfar has sustained a fair amount of damage. He has been cut and beaten. His eyes are puffed up from multiple punches to the face. He looks in a pretty bad state. Ahead of you, at the bottom of these stairs, a few steps out, you see that there is an archway. Above this archway, there are 7 gems. These gems light up in response to a color. The archway itself has a light in it, but the light keeps changing colors. They switch from red to orange to yellow to green to blue to indigo and violet. And it seems to be changing once a second. This is all that you see. These are all of the companions that you see before you. Pinto, you wake up and you see coming down the stairs, you see your brother, your mother, you see Zaltanna, you see Rhal coming down, and as she sees you, she kind of like gives you a concerned look, but also a smile. And you also see kind of like in the background behind everyone else coming down the stairs, you see the kind of like the fiery hair of Demi coming down also.
Oh. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Rhal.
Oh, God.
Rhal gives you a look, but she doesn't rush forward to meet you.
Balance is going to give her a nudge. Go on.
Did we do it? Did we win?
Rhal rushes over, ignoring the kind of maybe awkwardness of your somewhat way higher in society parents. She kind of like sits you up a little bit and looks you over, and she says,
Oh, hey.
I don't think so. From what Rhal said, I don't think so.
All right. What we got to do? What needs to be done? Where am I? Oh, here. Don't go through there. Don't go through that gate. Don't do it. It's bad.
What do you mean bad?
Squash.
Squash? Why Squash? What happened to Squash? Where is he? Is he up ahead? He's probably stealthing around somewhere.
I was going to ask the same question.
He's gone.
What? What do you mean gone?
We went through the gate. Me and Rhal tried to get through before when it was on yellow and it electrocuted us. But when Squash went through, I think the gem was on indigo or violet. I don't remember. One of those two. And he, in a flash, went blind and then vanished. I don't know where he is.
Oh my God.
Balance is going to turn to Demi. Are you aware of this sort of magic? Any ideas?
You see Demi like shake herself out of a bit of confusion. Her eyes go from like her normal humanish brown eyes to like the red glow that she has, and she kind of like rolls her shoulders and steps forward and looks at the stones one by one. And I will need to give her an Arcana check. All right, Demi. She did not fail.
Good.
She looks at it, tips her head a little bit and sees the stones going off one by one, and she says, I haven't seen it exactly applied like this before. I mean, I know of this spell, I've seen it before. Not like this. This is definitely new. This is ingenious. I kind of want this. I kind of want this a lot. I mean, I've got nowhere to put it, but I kind of want this. Give me a minute.
Why don't you take your time with that, Demi, while we plan out the next course of action?
Well, the thing is on the. It had to have gone through on the violet one. He had to have, because the other one would have turned him to stone. And you said you're electrocuted on one. If it's electrocuted on one, and there's poison, and there's cold, and there's acid, and there's fire, and there's turning to stone, and then there's being teleported and kind of banished, sent to another plane of existence.
That sounds right. I mean, he just straight up went blind. His eyes went white, and then just poof, gone.
I asked Spectre. And Spectre said he's on a different plane somewhere. But he can only check so many of them.
Okay, if it's on a different plane, if the Spectre didn't know who he was, it means he probably wasn't going to be on the stalking plane, otherwise he would know he's on there. And he probably wouldn't be on the physical plane, but that would completely depend on whether or not the Spectre is in fact, Squash's Spectre or not. And I kind of hope that he is, because that makes things so much easier. But if he isn't, well, okay, fair enough. But there's two planes that he can rule out instantly without worrying about it. Then the only other place the Spectres can go either to Cicero or Bellum. So they could be one of those two, or the Sentinel plane.
Spectre could only check so many.
He can check Cicero and Bellum, but he can't check the stalking. He can't. Well, he can rule out Cicero and Bellum, and if he rules them out, then he's going to be on the Sentinel plane. And that's way harder to get him back from. I can't get him. If he's not here, I might be able to send you guys to go get him, but I can't get him. I can't get him from where he is. I mean, I could if I took Damas, but that's not... We have to go through this to get to the chalice. And she points at the stones.
Rhal nods.
I would assume so, yeah.
Give me 10 minutes. And you see her step forwards. So she's directly in front of this portal. You see her hover like a couple of inches off the floor, so her toes are kind of like dragging along the floor. And she touches the stones either end. And she begins to cast Dispel Magic as a ritual. You guys have 10 minutes. Anyone do?
I'm just going to sit here and try not to die.
Is Pintor looking like really fucked up still, or like...
He's got a little like... You went through on yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
I dropped
he's
to 0,
like,
I got stabilized, I'm now at 1.
Yeah, he's kind of got little burn marks and stuff.
Didn't you guys finish the short
on his
rest?
Face.
Did we take a short rest? I don't know, because if we did,
because I remember last recording you said something about them finishing a short rest.
Rhal could finish a short rest, but you were unconscious.
I was unconscious for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Renala, however, is going to use some of her limited spell slots to heal you up because she can't deal with this very well.
That's fair.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, you can see where Rhal tried to acid you
Yeah.
to stop bleeding here and there.
Yeah.
Renala like puts her hands over the wounds and sees where like you've clearly either dripped acid or licked them, and she looks over at Rhal and she says, "Thank you for trying to help him
in your own unique way."
Oh shit! I just be like, yeah. Now, yeah. What the fuck is that? What is that? That's new.
What's new? Oh,
burn scars.
You get used to it.
Huh.
I guess she got burned real
All
good.
right.
She heals you for 17 hit points.
Ooh,
That's helpful.
thank you.
Scars make people look very
She dumped a
dashing.
level 2 in. Fuck this.
Thanks. Thanks, Ronaldo. I feel a little better. Oh god. All right, let me stand up. And I start stretching.
It's a struggle. Even revitalizing hip once she kind of like as she runs her hands over you and kind of like drums almost a rhythmic beat over them. Her magic flows through and you get somewhat healed and back on your feet, but you are uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, how you guys doing? You guys learn anything upstairs?
Quite a lot.
I got an army.
Oh,
And that.
what kind?
Church army.
Oh,
I got
okay.
the entire Temple of the Triad army now answers to me.
That's new and cool.
It is both of those things.
Also, you missed out on some fine elvish wine, I must say.
And balance acting like an idiot.
Yeah, I assume.
But I was playing you quite well.
Oh, good. You got me down then.
Oh, and people may or may not kind of think that you and I are fucking now.
You see Renala smile at this point.
We'll fill you in later. There was a lot of things that happened.
Slowly looks over towards Renala.
It was beautiful. It was so fun. It helped some people get on board and some people not, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, it was funny.
Balance turns to his mother. Are you all right to stand on your own? I needed to do something really quick.
She stands up totally fine and she says, "Yeah, I'm fine. I helped Pintor release your father."
Oh, good. Balance is going to stride over to his dad and kneel down in front of him and stare him straight in the eyes.
They're all like puffed up and very, very bruised. You can see that he sees you, but it's kind of like on that barely level. He reaches out his hand to you and sort of like tips his head a little bit.
Lafian, is that really you?
I need to have a very long conversation with you, but not in this condition. Hold on. Balance is gonna grab him by the arm, not necessarily very gently per se. He's you can tell that Balance is restraining himself.
Yes.
And he just grabs him roughly by the arm, and he's gonna do 5 psi points worth of mend wounds.
Okay.
That's 22 points of healing. So Balance grabs onto him, and his eyes kind of flash a purplish energy, and little sparks of psionic energy come out of his hands as he heals his father.
You guys see the little sparks. You see the wounds begin to mend over. The kind of very puffy black eyes that he had have sort of begin to recede, and his vision begins to clear a bit as he can physically see again. He looks healthier, but still utterly exhausted. And he nods and he says,
"You're not wrong, son, but I think now is not the time."
No, now is not the moment, but you and I need to have a very long conversation about the past 50 years of my life.
Yes, we all do, son.
and he looks over at Pinter and looks back at you, and he looks to Sylvia and her bump and looks back at you.
There are things that I regret and things I do not. But for now, we must be focused.
And he kind of like uses the wall to stand up, shifting his weight onto them.
Balance
He sees
offers him a
Sylvia running
hand.
over and yeah. He takes your hand to steady himself, and Sylvia runs over, and you can see them supporting each other. Take an insight check.
Sure. 16.
You see that your mother is a little bit more standoffish from so far than she used to be. She's still going through the motions, but there is not necessarily everything there that once was. There's clearly unresolved issues between them. But she helps him to his feet, and they hold on to each other as they stand. He says,
And your mother cannot, despite being the best archer here, I don't want her in this fight.
I don't want either of you in this fight, quite frankly.
Same.
I heard them. The other creatures down here, the ones guarding us, they mentioned death wisps. I don't understand exactly what they are, but they are here.
Well, we can't exactly go back, so not empty-handed.
well, we can't exactly leave your parents here. We've got to get them back out. We've got to do something. Otherwise, your parents need health and sustenance, and you need to get back on your feet properly as well. We've got to get people knowing what's going on here.
It's true, and quite frankly, the three of you look like shit right now.
He's not lying.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Jesus
And
Christ.
also-
I sit back down.
Ronala helps you back down a little bit. And she says, we left the club in a bit of a state. Well, Rhodri left the club in a bit of a state. She kind of demanded to know why you guys were down here. They're having a bit of a tussle up there about the weird things that are going on. And if you could get up there, maybe you could begin to work some of your political magic on things. Get things under control already. Like, while you guys get the chalice and stuff.
I think that would be a smart idea if the four of you, actually, because...
I'm not a fighter.
Exactly. And quite frankly, I think you've had to deal with enough of our bullshit for one day.
Not too bad. It's not too bad. You're not exactly Pintor, but you're an okay replacement, I guess.
Oh,
Hey.
okay. I see. Thanks, I think.
You're welcome. Okay, is there anything anyone could do to help us get back a little bit? I mean, and she looks over at Demi, who is still performing magics, and she seems a little bit too intent on doing exactly what she's doing right at this moment to answer properly.
I would be able to get you all back. If I dropped another anchor here, I can bring you all back to the Datherday room. It would drain me significantly.
The room. There's a lot going on in there. The one we need to go into.
then me being drained would probably not be such a wise idea. Well, we have the key, so you could go back on foot. You would just need to pass through the room with the blades, which...
See if when Demi gets done, all you need to do is figure out how to get through this one quiet. The other ones aren't so terrible.
As you say that, you all feel just like in an instant whoosh, like a gust of cold air. All the hair on the back of your necks go up. And you can hear 7 distinct cracks as the gems crack and break and the spell is dispelled. Now, what's this about moving back somewhere?
We need to get these 4 back upstairs so that we can move forward and not have to be concerned about their safety.
And you don't want to lose any things, right? You don't want to lose any resources, energy.
Right. I've only got so much.
Maybe we can calm down what's happening upstairs. I don't know what's happening, but we can figure it out. Keep it calm.
Right. I should probably fill you in on. So apparently, we talked with Gilles about coming down here. He's actually kind of a good guy, kind of. Huh. So, all right. Let me start from the beginning. So Balance is going to very quickly catch everybody up on the fact that
the people who own the vault know that we're down here.
The people
Rhal looks very nervous.
The people that own the vault know we're down here. The night butler is working for Yethlin. I think that was her name.
Yethlan, I think.
Yithlan. So mentioning the fact that the night butler was working for Yithlan, especially telling his parents that Yithlan specifically wrote in the note about keeping any Dathradir locked up down here. He's going to hand his dad, actually, the note that he had pieced together. The crumpled up note.
Yeah, he takes it with a bit of a trembling hand, but he understands what this means.
It's proof. It's evidence.
Yes, exactly.
He's going to fill them in on the fact that Yil is one of the 4 horsemen and the whole Baba Yaga thing.
I love your expression, Bucky.
Yeah, so basically we found out that Yil is apparently one of the 4 horsemen who is a child of Baba Yaga. And apparently each of them was supposed to be... yeah, you might want to take that drink. Apparently each of the 4 of them is supposed to help when there's supposed to be like a big world-shattering event to, I guess, keep the balance and protect it and stuff like that, which was why we talked to him in the first place, was because we thought he would be, of anybody, he would be the sort to understand that this chalice is important, and that apparently he didn't know that the Dathradeers were down here. Basically, insert
like
episodes 80.
Crazy party.
Exactly, it was a very crazy party, in fact. Apparently there are orcs passing underneath Beligbud, which is pissing off the Duergar. So that needs to be dealt with, because the guy upstairs was very rude about it.
Chakotay.
Yes, that was his name. He was a bit of an asshole about it.
Yes,
Essentially, he thinks you're a shithead, Bintor. So that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't fake Pintor's finest moment, but you know.
Listen, I thought I did very, very well overall, pretending to be Pintor. I even got the dwarven bread with the elven jam, like you'd said. I got that. I was sticking to the notes I took.
Oh, I gotta get some of that when I get back upstairs.
Demi,
It's real nice.
The elven wine, just
yes,
perfect.
Rhal?
what's a death wisp? Rhal looks nervous.
That's also a good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to have her do a history check. I'm also going to have Renala do a history check.
Ooh.
Well, funnily enough, they both rolled a 19.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Demi looks like she's about to launch into a tirade of information when Renala just kind of like pops her hand up a little bit and Demi like screeches to a halt because I don't want to have to do her voice again. And Renala says, well, as far as I remember from the tales, they're these like, I guess, undead kings, kind of, and they can drain your life, and when you die, they can raise you as like a wraith or a spirit. They don't take a lot of damage. They're like resistant to a lot of things. Like normal weapons don't do so well against them. They've got to be magic or silver or something, and you can't poison them. And necrotic is like right out. No, that won't do anything to either of them.
How about psychic damage?
She looks over at Demi, and Demi like shrugs her shoulders, and Demi says, so far as I know, psychic are fine. Psychic damage should be okay. But until we try, I mean, I've never fought one. At least I don't think I have.
Fire damage?
Should be okay.
Fantastic. I have both.
Yeah.
There was, and Rhal describes the room to everyone that he went ahead and saw.
I'm going to need a fill-in on that because I haven't
like
listened to any of
me
your
to
episodes.
describe the room for
It was a whole lot of shit, B.
Wait,
It was a whole
the
bunch of crazy
room-
shit.
There was a room. Wait, did you see a different room? Over the same
Uh,
room?
The room
so
towards the
me
singing
and
lady.
Oh,
me
right.
and Neil did an episode on our own.
Oh, okay.
Where your character was unconscious, so we just did an episode where Rhal got to do all the shit he wanted to do. He describes a room which is, let me just bring up the correct information, make sure I get it to
Full
you
of
properly.
things you would tell me not to fucking touch.
Basically, yeah.
And some not friendly looking people.
He describes, do you describe the people or the objects or everything?
Oh, everything.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
He tells you that there is this scary looking, like dark green looking woman with wings. But she might be a statue, but she might not be. And she seems to be whistling this horrible haunting tune, which Pintor would recognize as the one that you heard when you were here last. He also describes this kind of like scary looking human dude who's like this kind of wispy guy carrying a short sword, and he's wearing a crown. And his legs just like wispy, kind of like smoke, and he doesn't really have any formed legs. And he has a really like prominent rib cage, which is covered with like a light cloth. So they're the two things that he saw. That's all I'm going to comment on those. He also saw the chalice on a plinth against the back wall opposite the entrance. He also mentions that there are two other objects that he saw. He saw a kind of broken vase, but the cracks had been filled in with gold, so it was no longer broken. Like the old style of like, it's broken, fill it with gold and it looks cool again. They have that thing going on, and that's off to one side. And he also says that he saw kind of like a box with a feather in it. That's me breaking down what he saw. It's like really simple.
A bunch of things you would tell me not to fucking touch.
Yeah. And that's what he describes. Yeah.
There was this crazy thing and then that crazy thing. And everything was crazy.
How did you get through the door?
Jumped.
You jumped through. We kept
Got
going
shocked.
on the yellow one. Because it was the safest after Squash tried the...
Yeah. We're going to go with choosing different colors. Rhal chose yellow, and then Squash chose violet. And then after he vanished, I went, well, not choosing that one, and then went with yellow instead.
So you jumped through, took damage, and then came back through.
Well, the first time I didn't, because I was quick about it.
There's a
But-
small gap.
Coming back, I wasn't so lucky.
Oh, I see.
You have to roll like a 28. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. We roll really high dex with evasion.
That's
Yeah, I had to
unfortunate. I
use,
don't
like-
have such things. Good thing it's gone. Thank
had
you,
to-
Demi.
I had to use the absolute highest version of Dispel Magic I had because I didn't want to risk it. I know this is very high and it could do a lot of damage. And obviously it can turn you into stone and it can like send you to a different plane of existence, which is super bad. And we're going to need to find this chest and then we're going to go get squashed. That's my plan. I don't care if you're on board or not. This is what we're going to do. And also I'm not in charge of the Witch Society anymore, but that's neither here nor there. And she like looks at Pinter as she says this.
Oh. Oops. I didn't.
Yeah, a lot of things happened upstairs. Also, by the way, the town that's near here is under attack. Forgot to mention that part. We don't know by what. Yil wants us to help out when we're done here, so maybe when you guys go upstairs, don't go fighting, but Dad, you're pretty good when it comes to military things. Go, you can maybe help at that.
I will lend my aid, but if there's a horseman here, if nothing else, I could learn something from him, I suppose.
Look at it this way. It's very good if we get in his good graces. We're currently probably not, but this could probably be a good start.
Probably not, because you told him where it is vault.
He let us come down here.
He did. He told us we could come into the vault.
Listen, Rhal, I want to lay it on the table right now. I put this up to a group vote.
I feel like when you put enough deadly traps, it's just kind of okay to say, "Oh, fucking try it."
He told us we could take the chalice.
It's not like he turned it off. This is kind of out of character. This isn't really a conversation.
Actually, also that reminds me, and then Balance is going to point to Zaltanna. He gave us some items that could be of use in, I guess, this coming room. Rhal, there's some knuckle dusters you may enjoy.
Aw, I like those knuckle dusters, and she gives them to Rhal.
It'll make punching hurt less.
And making punching other people hurt more.
Yeah, they got magic on them so that you can hurt magic people, because apparently without the magic weapons, you can't hurt people.
Well, actually, Rhal might still be able to do it anyways, thinking about it, but...
Well, they're silver.
Right.
I mean, the silver helps weapons that aren't magical against things that are undead. And if there's a death wisp, which is the thing that you described, the freaky little dude with the crown on, that's probably going to be a death wisp. Actually, I know that's a death wisp. I've heard the things before.
Demi, will my...
it's a death wisp. You could probably do more damage.
Will my... what is it, axe? Will my axe work against them?
Is it the axe my brother gave you? Yes. Yes, it will work. So long as it's magic, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's magic, it bypasses a lot of these things. But if it's not a magic weapon, just dipping them in silver and then like, pew, 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 is a super good thing. But you guys all, I think, have magic, apart from you. And she points at Balance. But you have a weird kind of magic. And one day I will take that apart and I'll figure out what the hell that is. But that's tomorrow me's problem. Today's me, we gotta get chess.
No, but okay.
Yes. And it's okay.
No.
Okay.
Right. So...
Rhal is kind of infatuated with his knuckle duster thingy. He's never had a weapon before that he can, like...
They kind of... They're a little bit tight because your dragon hands are a little not designed for knuckle dusters, but with a bit of stretching, maybe a bit of licking and a little fracturing, you'll get them to fit over nicely.
Yeah.
So... Right, we need to get you four back. We need to go ahead and get the chalice.
Right. How will we get him back?
It's a good question. Demi?
I have a plan.
I like plans.
But it does mean I have to use a very big spell slot. And I'm going to need your help. And she points at Balance.
Okay.
You were talking about doing some weird, freaky little, like, boom, and then you appear thing, the little beacony thing. You were talking about your ability to, like, teleport through things, which isn't really teleporting because it's not magic, but it's something completely different. Either way, it doesn't matter. My plan being is, you drop something here, I teleport everyone up there, and then we bamf back. So it's only one resource for me, one resource for you, but I will not be able to do that level spell slot. Well, I can do much higher abilities, but that uses a different form of stuff, but that's neither here nor there.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything we need when we're up there? I mean, like shopping. No, maybe not shopping.
No, I don't think so. I've got all of my stuff.
Okay, well, I'm going to bounce us back to the Wish Society room because I spent a lot of time there, and I think there may be some things that Squash left behind which may be useful for me to grab now before they kick me out of the dueling club completely, and maybe I'll use that to help scry later. But we're doing that. And she grabs Balance's arm and she says, "Do your thing. Drop the thing. Do the thing. However as you do it."
Wait,
okay.
Before we go.
Yes.
Here. I feel like you would probably need this more than I do. And I take the pin brooch that's on my shirt and I hand it over and I kind of look at it and I go, well, this is dwarven make, so it might be better in the hands of a dwarf. And I pass it over to Zaltanna.
It's a brooch?
It's a pin that looks like a rapier.
Ooh. I like it. It looks like a weapon. Okay, I'll pin it into my braid. Like I've got like a leather twist in my braid. I'll pin it to that.
Didn't you cut your braid off?
No, when did I do that?
You did cut your braid off. I remember that.
Yeah.
Wait,
You cut your braid off when it was growing your beard out.
I cut my braid off? I know I was growing. Okay, then it's a leather twist in my beard. I didn't remember that I cut my braid off.
Perfect.
When Zaltanna told the Mulan story to us.
Who is that dwarf I see?
Okay. The rapier pin is an attuned item.
Oh.
So yeah, she can't use it unless she attunes to it, but she does have it.
So, yeah.
Demi grabs Balance's arm and looks at Pintor as Pintor says,
All right, let's do this.
Okay. Do the thing.
All right. Hold on. So Balance is...
Abracadabra.
No, not that. Balance is going to spend a psi point, and he's going to drop a nomadic anchor here.
Okay.
So that way we can return. And he gives Demi a nod and says, all right, the anchor is down.
She grabs Balance's arm. She reaches out and grabs Renala's wrist. Renala helps Pintor up to his feet, and their parents come to join. Demi looks at Rhal and Zaltanna and is like, you don't want to come with? Okay, that's fine.
Thanks for your help, Rhal.
Sure. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It was really nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you guys too. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Oh, yes, super
we better
soon.
fucking see each other real soon.
Yeah,
Thank
don't
you
die.
for saving us.
There's a lot of things we need to discuss.
And Zelfar just like looks at Rhal and gives him a nod, as does to Zaltanna also. And they all grab wrists. You see Demi float a little bit off the ground. You feel a whooshing of air all around you, and she kind of like looks around, and her eyes have like misted over red and black. And she summarily says, "Anyone wearing metal? No, good, awesome." And you guys feel a slight.
Try to take my knuckle dusters.
Everyone involved in the circle feels a slight tug on the back of their navel. Zaltanna and Rhal, you see the Dathridirs and Demi and Renala kind of like disappear in a bit of a whirl, a bit of a like a suction into the center of an area. Those of you going through, you experience going through the stalking, this kind of weird sepia looking thing. Balance out the corner of your eye, you see two of the specters that were there when you ported through the room with the cloud of weapons. You see them, and you see them absentmindedly wave in your direction. But it's like a split second thing. It's very, very quick.
I love all the specters. They're so nice.
They're just doing their job, man.
Death isn't necessarily a scary thing. It's just...
No.
They're just
It's
doing
just
their
a thing that
jobs.
happens.
They're
Yeah,
not evil. They don't
just different.
cause death.
pretty chill.
Yeah, you guys land on terra firma back in the Witches Society room. Demi shoots off back into her like bedroomy area, and you hear her like rustling around for a minute. So if you guys want to say goodbyes, then you should do this now.
Balance grabs everybody in a big family hug.
Aww. Your father like uncomfortably pats your shoulder. He knows that he's got shit to do, but at the same time, like he still gives a fuck. And your parents both refuse to let go of you for a moment. Your mum has already said the things she needs to say, and your father just says,
I'm sorry. We will talk when we are back home.
and they step back.
About that. I don't know, Pintor, if you filled them in on everything, like the assassination attempt, or...
There wasn't really enough time. I kind of went unconscious real fast.
Wait, assassination attempt?
Right. So there was some assassins sent by good old Auntie. Apparently, the description they were given was that they were supposed to kill me.
They tried to kill me.
Yeah, they tried to kill him. We have one in a place. We have one of the assassins captured. We were talking with them. It seems like they could be swayed if we can get their tongue restored.
Oh, yeah.
There was that whole...
Restore their tongue.
He's not a bad guy. He has tongue cut out, and they promised him to restore his tongue if they murdered me / Balance. But They didn't.
Right,
We
by the
caught
way,
him.
I'm going by a different name to a lot of people, Balance.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Laffian's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a little more out in the open now that we have to deal with.
There's a guy downstairs. If we can get his tongue back and kind of heal him, he might be able to help us and tell us what's going on. Maybe give us some insight into what Aunt Glyn is doing.
Right. One last thing. Pinto, you can fill them in on the rest of the details that have happened, but there's something I haven't told you, and I need to tell all three of you because you're probably going to need to know this, especially in case if something happens to me down there, which I'm going to try not to have happen. But
Yeah, don't die.
gonna try not
Yeah,
to.
please don't.
Been doing a really good job at that so far. So in Falsum, in the ruins of the bank vaults there is a necklace that looks very similar to the one that you may have seen Auntie wearing. That is good evidence of the fact that what she is wearing is a master slave collar. Apparently there are two of them. One is the controller, one is the controllee. I don't know if she's wearing one or the other. Demi said that she might be able to figure out if she could see it up close and personal, but that does mean either Auntie is controlling someone forcibly or being controlled.
Your parents share a look. Take an insight check. You both can. It's fine.
16.
14.
On a 14, you get that they know something. On a 16, it looks like they are sharing a look that confirms a theory they had.
Mom, Dad, something to share with the class?
We've suspected for some time now that your aunt hasn't been acting under her own volition.
That would make sense.
I knew your aunt. I'm talking as if she's dead, but she's not. Sometimes your aunt is there and sometimes she isn't. She did things to you. Balance? Is that what you want to be called now?
You can call me Laffian.
She smiles at you and she says, shakes her head a little bit. No. If that's the name that you are now, then that's who you are. I love you regardless. Your aunt did things to you. And we don't think it was her choice. At least I hope not. But either way, she can't be left in charge anymore.
No, especially because we kind of need that crown.
You need her crown.
It's
Your father kind of looks a little confused.
Yeah.
So another quick story here. Pinta can fill in the details later.
I'll show them the thing. Yeah.
Basically, what she did to me was apparently take the spirit of an ancient hero, force his floating spirit out of the previous host that he was in, and into me. His name is Marnak. He's a wonderful person. He's probably listening right now. He ended up unlocking my psychic powers when he was forced into me, so I have abilities that I didn't have previously. He's supposed to apparently be the savior of the world for this whole apocalypse thing that's going on. But in order to restore him, we need to get a bunch of items together. We've already retrieved 3 of them. We know where one of them is because it's the chalice downstairs that we're going to get right now. The crown is another, and then there's also a clockwork heart that we have some people looking into to try to get. So that's more or less the basic gist of what's been going on. There's a lot more to it than that, but I don't think we're going to have much time for me to go into the nitty-gritty of it all.
How about when we have the situation under control, if we can get it under control, we will meet you back in Falsum and share everything we know. For now, you go get the chalice, and we will work up here to get this potential powerful ally on our side.
I would appreciate it.
And we'll see you again in Falsum.
At that moment, Demi just comes like storming back into the room. She kind of like grabs Balance's wrist and she kind of like waves at Pintor, Sylvia, and Zelfa. And she's like, okay, it was super cool to meet you, but we super need to get going. Things to do, many things to do today.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of work to do.
Well, good luck on your end. Wish us luck on ours, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
I'm going to reach out my hand to shake my brother's hand.
Balance shakes his hand
Demi,
and
let's
then
go.
pulls him into like a quick back pat hug and
Yeah. When we get close to each other, I go, "Don't die." And when you get back, we'll have a lot to talk about and a lot to let's raise some hell when you get back.
oh, that's the part I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, me too.
Demi's grip on your wrist, as soon as like you stop embracing, is just like iron. Her skin is very, very hot to the touch. And you can tell she's very antsy to get going.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we're going. Farewell.
Yep.
See you later.
Goodbye.
And with that, Balance is going to spend. Is there a way I can cheat this and make it cheaper?
I don't know, move me. Appeal to my better nature.
No, there
Drop the
isn't.
DM
No,
of 50.
I have to use 6 points. Like, I actually have to. Everything else, the maximum distance is like 120 feet, and that's piss all.
You can just bribe the DM. That's usually I do. Slip him a 20.
I don't know about. Well, I mean, we are going to see you in
Not
October,
with the British
so
pound
I mean,
right now. Not with the British pound right now.
Listen, V, I'll buy you a drink.
If only it were that easy.
All right, now, so I'm Balance is going to spend the 6 side points and teleport the two of us back down.
All right. Again, as you go down to this kind of anchor point that you made, the world goes sepia around you. Zaltanna and Rhal, is there anything you guys wanted to natter speak about or do before you get dumped these tall people in your group?
I think so.
Okay.
Rhal's just trying to keep calm.
Mm-hmm. It's a very fair comment.
Keep calm and dragging on.
Yep.
Yeah.
That needs to be a new shirt. We should make that some
I
merch.
feel unhappy by this. I feel so unhappy. Okay.
I want to check Rhal to make sure he's not any more hurt than usual.
He seems okay. He's, like I said, he seems like you can like see some blood on his clothes and stuff, and some blood from just like, you know, him being nervous. You know that they've been through a lot, but health like wise, he looks okay. He looks rested. They took a rest.
Yeah, but they took a short rest. That doesn't restore.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, it does restore health. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Not a
Yeah,
lot.
Rhal's at full HP. He's just shaking.
Monks get
Okay.
all that shit when they take short rest.
Oh yeah, they do.
I'm
All their
yeah.
shit back.
He's used hit dice on his rest.
okay. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna be like, hey,
Hey, how was the party?
it was weird. I had to be like all covert and shit. Not really my forte. How was sneaking around the dungeon?
I mean, up until this crazy thing, and Rhal like gestures at the gate, everything was fine.
Did you get to talk to Balance's
All
parents?
of a sudden, yeah, they seem nice.
Yeah.
They seem okay. I don't know what all happened, but if Eamon taught me anything, politics are complicated, and I should just leave that to her.
Aw. That is fair.
On that adorable note, you feel the fiery presence returning, and there's like whoosh, as Balance and Demi return.
All right. So, are we ready?
As I'll ever be.
Sure, I'll lead the way.
Maybe we should pair up melee combatants in the front, squishy casters in the back.
Leading. the
Are you
way.
saying, oh, hey, Zaltanna, go up in the front with your shield?
I am simply offering the Lord of the Doors a chance to take her rightful position at the front of this party.
So Tona, I've heard so much about the Lord of the Doors. Do not let me down.
Ugh.
You're a girl. Go on.
Okay, I will
Balance
go
holds up
be
for
the
a fist
one
bump
of
with
the
Demi.
Without looking, she fist bumps back. Okay, Zaltanna, as you step into the kind of corridor that is ahead of you, it goes left and it goes right. As soon as you step in here, I need you to make a...
Uh-oh.
I need you to make a wisdom save, please.
Roll why?
What? I'm immune to all this shit.
What are you doing using this shit?
Rhal probably don't even know. I have monk shit.
That's a 17.
Okay.
Oh no, plus your 3. Plus your 3. It's a 20.
Plus my 3? From what?
Your aura. Your aura.
Oh,
your
being
aura.
your
right.
aura.
I
Your
do
aura.
have an aura. I always think of you
Okay.
as the aura guy and me as the door guy. The Dora.
Okay. As you step into this kind of corridor, you get a very cold, dread feeling in your stomach, and it's one that just like starts at the base of your spine and rolls up to the top of your neck, and you feel this kind of like disappointment and upset and worry and fear, but you quickly shake it off, and you would take 15 damage, but you only take 7 because you saved, and you don't suffer the other effect.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
So far as balance is
map.
concerned, all you do is see Zaltanna shiver a little.
So balance what?
You just see Zaltanna shiver a little, like you don't know any difference.
Oh.
Demi walks in and she experiences exactly the same phenomenon, so she has to roll a wisdom save also. She succeeds. She's going to take the same damage. Oh, shit. No, I don't want to roll that. Fuck me.
Even if Rhal was aware of this happening, it's been like a couple hours.
Yeah, you would be fine because you've already resisted it today,
Yeah.
so you don't need to do it again. Wait, no. I don't think she gives any fuck about this. Hang on, let me check. As Demi steps in and she feels the same kind of like cold, creeping dread feeling, but she quickly shakes it off. And where she would have taken 11 damage, she takes significantly less.
And keep in mind that this is after you jump through that shitty gate.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So they got through the gate and then had to do this.
Oh, you only
All right,
rolled
balance.
a 26? Oh, darn.
All right, balance, my
You
dude.
take 40 damage.
Yep, I guess balance is going through. I will mention he probably has switched his focus to the fire one because he's terrified of recurring fireballs.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So you roll a wisdom check, but don't forget to add +3 because of Zaltanna.
Right. Wisdom save, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Nope, doesn't matter. It's a 6. I had a 2 on the dice. So it's a 9
That
in
would be
total.
9. Okay. This works out actually not too bad for you. As you step in here, that feeling of dread really grips your heart. And it feels so much like everything you're about to do in life is an utter failure.
Is it a charm effect?
No.
Okay, continue.
It feels like everything you're about to do is an utter failure in life. You can just feel like the threads of fate all around you, just like they're just there to doom you. I mean, you've just experienced a horribleness, like rediscovering your family, and like clearly they don't care too much about you. This thing of getting the chalice, whatever. I mean, it's not even for you; it's for this great entity in your brain.
God, that's a mood.
The next ability check you make is going to be at disadvantage,
Oh,
and you take what would have been 12 psychic damage, but you're resistant, right?
no?
Are you not resistant to psychic damage?
No.
You're not?
No, there's a discipline that I could take that would make it where I could be, but no. Baseline, I am
In
not
that-
resistant to psychic.
Okay, in that case, you take 12 psychic damage.
Rhal's immune to this because you can't convince Rhal that his life could get worse.
Translation, Rhal is a high wisdom save. You get it.
Yeah. It's basically a frighten effect.
How much damage is
this
it?
is a very specific thing. 12, please.
Oh, God. All right.
right.
Balance is not looking hot, guys.
You took 12 damage.
Yeah, that's after the other damage from the fucking fireball.
Oh yeah, you took a bite.
One might say, if you were to look at balance, one might say he's at about 50%.
Oh no.
Physically,
Jamie
he looks a little charred. Mentally, he looks like he's probably not having a great day.
Not having a great day.
Despite all the elven wine.
Okay. Yes, so just bear that in mind. You're just disco at the next one.
Remember, kids, elven wine is a depressant. That's why you should not rely on alcohol.
Okay.
Bucky.
Rhal takes you right. Rather than going left, he takes you in the right path. He seems to know the way he's going because he's been here before and he's overcome whatever effects are down him. The air is cold and very dead. The further along this pathway you go, there's this weird, haunting, whistling melody that's very heavy in the air. Rhal takes you along corridors that look the same. They twist and they turn, and it'll be very easy to get confused about where you are. But this weird, heavenly whistling melody gets heavier, but it's very sad. Like in your very core, it makes you not want to be here. And Balance, you would recognize that similar feeling to the one that Squash had when he shared his vision with you.
Ah.
This is not a good place. You reach a fork in the road. Sorry, a fork in the corridors. There's a path that goes left and it goes off a fair distance. And there's a path that turns right. And at the very end of this kind of corridor, you can see this kind of whitish light glow. As you go along that corridor, I need Zaltanna and Balance to make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, God.
Do either of you have anything weird to do with being frightened?
No, just charmed.
Okay.
Nope, but also I just got a 23.
Oh. And I got a 19.
All right. Fuck. You both save from the frightened effect.
I'm already all depressed and shit. Nothing can possibly
You're already
be worse.
super sad. You're already super sad right now. You don't want to be here. That kind of like horrible feeling that that Squash had when he was here is because he failed when he came down here.
Oh.
It's that horrific, doesn't want to keep going, is scared and terrified by the visions that he should have and by the visions that you guys should be had, but you both saved so you don't get these wonderful visions that I wrote 2 goddamn hours. No, and rather than the horrific, horrible visions that you would have expected because Squash had them in your vision, you both, however, only take 2 psychic damage. I need to make Demi roll this too.
Fantastic.
Oh, and let's hope she doesn't get frightened because god damn it.
She has the +3 too.
Yeah, she does +3 too.
Oh,
It's a
man.
wisdom check. She is currently so she has to roll that one.
How long has it taken for us to get down here?
And she also only takes 2 damage. You guys are a couple of hours in, I think.
Can I say that while we were walking through the maze and whatnot, Balance was trying to inspire himself and his friends with his inspiring leader feat?
I said 5 minutes, right?
Maybe?
You were, no, to be fair, you walked in here and got super sad.
I'm trying to cheer myself up.
You walked in and got super
I'm
sad.
trying to motivate myself.
Fuck it, fine. Roll whatever hit points it is. Give me whatever speech it is, but you get to halve the hit points and then you don't have to have the disadvantage. I'll take that. That's fun.
All right. So it's all of us get temp HP equal to 11. 11 temp HP.
So you guys only going to take half of that. So you only get 5, but you no longer have that disadvantage on your.
Because of the
next
depression?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
let it
So,
be known.
we'll remove
if you make
that.
a motivational
You pet
speech
yourself.
while depressed.
Yeah.
You get half the benefit.
Oh, because of
You get half the benefit, but you get yourself back up to like, I'm okay for this fight. Everyone else is like, I'm super pumped.
Wow, V.
You're like,
that
"Yeah,
is
I'll be
such a
right."
mood you just described.
You're welcome.
Like,
You
that
are
is
so
a
welcome.
day right there.
Yeah.
Listeners,
this
remember,
was
mental
never meant
health
to
is
be a nice
important.
place.
We're there with you.
Yeah, please, genuinely, like, joking aside, please take care of your mental health. We all have issues. And
We don't all have psychic powers.
understand,
I can't help
please.
everybody.
No.
I wish I could help the
Look
world.
after yourselves.
I'm giving you all mental
It's a
hugs.
TLD.
That's what Balance does. He gives you mental hugs.
A TLD public announcement. Just give someone a hug and yeah. All right. As you guys make your way towards this kind of bright light, Demi's also fine. She's not frightened by any of the stuff that she sees, thankfully. As you guys go a bit further along this corridor, Rhal points out where he found a trap in the wall. You can see these very, very fine holes in the wall. And with a bit more notice, you probably figured that the kind of tile on the ground in front of it is clearly some sort of pressure sensor, pressure trigger. And you'd get hit with a bunch of stuff. But since Rhal found that last time he was down there, you don't need to worry about that.
Balance praises Rhal for that.
We all praise Rhal for this.
You did a good job, buddy.
And I'm super
Well done.
sad because I wanted all of you poisoned.
His tail
That
wags.
didn't work.
Oh,
When you guys look at this room properly, and you can, like, from the way that Rhal shows the room and like gets you to the room, you just kind of like peek in very gingerly. You don't want to expose yourself too much because Rhal knows there are creatures in here. On the far, make sure I get all of this right because there are very specific places for each of them. In the back right-hand corner, you can see a tall, wispy human male who's wearing a crown and carrying a short sword. His legs are wispy. They're not legs. They're just wisps of darkness. He has a very kind of like prominent rib cage with a light cloth wrapped around it. In the other corner, there is a statuesque, beautiful woman about the same height as a human woman, a bit smaller than Demi. She has large, dark green wings and they are spread. She seems almost like a statue, but you could tell that this weird, beautiful whistling melody is coming from her. Her lips are making the kind of like the facial expression we need to make a whistle. In between them on that back wall, you can see there is a pedestal. And on that pedestal is the chalice that you guys have been looking for, the one that Squash found way back in the day. On the right-hand side, you can see there is a tall, very ornate vase. It's kind of the color of, kind of like a kind of tea color, like the milky tea color. And there are cracks in it, but they are filled with gold and they make beautiful patterns. And there are many, many runes drawn upon it. You also notice that the vase is smoking ever so slightly. On the other wall, on the left-hand side, you can see that there is another little pedestal. And on this, there is a small glass box with a lid. And within it, there is a single feather. What do you guys want to do? This is a fair-sized room.
well then. I would say it would be easiest to just teleport in, grab it, and teleport out. But I have a funny feeling that probably won't work so well.
Demi looks at the room. She kind of pulls herself back. You see her eyes just kind of like mist through red and black and back to her normal eyes, and red and black and back to her normal eyes. And you see this constantly rotating. And then she pops her head around the corner for the briefest of moments and pulls back again. And she says, yeah, there's a lot of magic in that room. It's not just those weird freaky creatures in the background, the death wispy thing and whatever the hell that beautiful statue is. Oh my God, that beauty standing in the corner is. This room has something about it. This room does things. I don't know exactly what it does. I know that there's probably fire involved. I know that there's probably death involved and horrible things involved. And we need to be very, very careful about this room. We need to be very prepared to protect our minds from whatever the fuck is going on in there. That place is bad. Oh my God. And she looks like she's about to say more things, but the words don't come out of her mouth. Her mouth just moves instead.
So we don't want to try to talk to them, do we?
I feel like no.
I mean, we could try talking to them. I mean, I don't think it'll work, but we could try talking to them.
Well, we're going to have to walk into the room either way.
Yes, we are.
So why don't we go in prepared for combat? But if we can chat, then that could be good. I like talking.
We
Yes,
know.
You took a lot.
I do.
Took a multiple lot.
That's what I'm good at, among other things.
So how do we prepare? Is there any things we can do? I can't cast anything on like help you guys. I'm not that kind of mage person. I mean, I could do other things which are useful, but not this kind of thing. I can't like make you guys better or worse. Well, no, I could make you worse. I could seriously harm you. I could seriously harm them, but I can't apply things to you before we start. I've given you everything I have already.
I don't really have things in the way of defensive capabilities besides the teleportation.
How close do we have to be for you to teleport out?
If it's just the four of us, within 60 feet.
The room, I'm going to say, is probably, it's probably a little bit bigger than the 60 foot, like, square of it, I'm going to call it.
So essentially, as long as I'm standing in the center, as long as nobody is too far out of range, I can get all of us out if we need to.
And you're going to take us back up to the club, not back to the place by the door, right?
Correct.
Okay, good, because I didn't want that to be a thing. I mean, it's very scary.
Rhal snorts one of his pain powder medicines.
Okay. He does so.
All right, roll to be high.
I don't think.
Oh
there's a
no!
high.
You accidentally fixed up Squash's drugs.
Oh, no.
No,
It was actually Dragon Sand.
Okay. Well, let's. Do you have the thing where your mind can't be interrupted by the things? Where your mind, like, you can't receive information from people unless you want them to?
No, that'd be fantastic if that was something I could do.
Okay, well, that's that out. Can anyone just like ignore like being, I don't know, like charmed by magic, because it's a super useful thing for me to know about.
My elvish blood.
It's kind of hard to scare me with magic, apparently.
Well, yeah, so far as I've been told by things, you're basically death. You're death walking around, like you were spread with big scary wings and you
thanks.
become like, woo.
That's a compliment, Rhal. It is. Better to be death than to be dead.
That is true. No one wants to be dead. God, I hope he's not dead. It's going to be fun. We're going to be fun. We're going to got this. We're just going to go in there. We're going to talk a thing. How good are you guys at avoiding being hit by fire?
I can
And she
resist
looks
it.
genuinely like a little concerned.
I can be fast. You think it's gonna happen? I can be ready for it.
I think so.
I can dodge things.
Like, these things are... I don't think they're resistant to fire. I mean, I know the thing over in the corner can sometimes be resistant to things, but I don't think fire is one of them. I mean, I have to check the memory as I check my notes.
Let me ask you this, Demi. I have a question as well.
Sure, go for it.
Because you'll probably understand it better than I do. If a creature were to be charmed, could
Yes.
they be charmed by something else? Or does the first charm block the second one?
She kind of tips her head a bit and goes, I guess it kind of depends on the level of magic used. Like, if you were under a basic charm spell, I could probably just either get rid of it or I could just charm you with something even bigger. I mean, I have a lot of powerful magic and a lot of powerful allies. And I guess it depends on exactly their abilities.
What
Things they
does
can do.
that vase and the feather do? Maybe we could use them if we could get to them.
She kind of like rolls her shoulders a little bit, pops her head out, pops her head back again. And she says, because she has to take magic on,
Demi,
let's find out exactly what these things do.
That's why spellcaster's the best. Love it.
Okay, one of them does alteration. Like the feathery thing does the alteration-y thing, and it can do things to, and it changes things about you, and it's, that could be really useful. Although it does different things depending whether it's whole or whether it's broken or not. And I would recommend probably not breaking, because I don't know exactly what to do about that, but I know things will happen if you break it. There's a lot of magic, heavy magic. And the vast thing does teleportation. The vast thing is also kind of necromantic.
Let's not touch that one then.
Yeah, but it's just teleportation. It could be super useful. I mean, I don't know what they do. We're missing a historian. If we had the bard here, the bard would probably know things. But
Well, okay, but
she's also kind of
you and I can both teleport anyways, so that kind of magic is not necessary present.
I can't right now.
Okay, I can. So,
Well, you want to save your resources, right? So I could kind of see where teleportation would be useful.
I'd rather not put it up to chance with a magic item we don't know anything about.
Again, you feel that kind of familiar pull in the back of your mind, Balance, as you hear Marnik say, if things come to it, I can do as I did before and give you a little extra help. It drains me a little, but you've got 3 out of 6 so far.
We're on a winning streak. Let's continue it.
Don't let arrogance rule you.
I
Be
know.
cautious.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, so if we're...
What? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there.
It's okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think with like 2 different voices in my head right now, and it's very, very difficult, and things are shouting different things at me, and I'm trying to figure out which one is the best course of action.
Funny, I was just doing
I
the
think
same
probably... Hey! She kind of like raises her fist to like bump you.
Yeah, Balance isn't going to leave her hanging.
Nice. Name of the episode, don't leave me hanging. She looks in the room back again. She says, if we can get these things, the reason they're stored here is because they're very powerful objects. They'd probably be very useful to us. If we're going to get them, we might as well just take everything, right? I mean, we may piss off the horseman by doing that, but yeah, I mean, I guess if we take them, we can always ask him if we can just keep them, and then if he says no, then we just give them back. At least we would piss him off. I mean, let's not piss off a horseman. That sounds super dangerous.
That's fair. I think the feather might be more useful immediately.
Possibly.
Alteration stuff sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to activate as soon as you touch it. It's not a tunable thing. It's just you touch it and the thing will happen. The same with the vase.
All right.
So should we just run in there and touch the things? Is that the plan?
I don't know if all of us should touch it.
I thought we were not supposed to touch the things.
No. Well, all right. So, Rhal, there are things that are okay to touch if Demi says they're okay to touch. The thing that you touched, I'm still pissed off about. So, no.
I feel like I'm missing something here, but I also feel like maybe we should just go in there and start like kicking the shit out of stuff. I think the vase is okay to touch, but it does have necromantic aura on there, so just be like super careful. Like, I mean,
let's save that as like a last ditch effort. The necromantic part concerns me.
Yeah, it does also me, which, well, I don't think it has any controlling ability, so I don't think it'll be too much of a problem if I end up taking it, but if I take it, I'm probably more likely to resist this stuff happens to me, because, you know, I can always just dispel it if the thing's coming worse, or just like counterspell or something like that. I guess I could take it, but I simply don't want to, because I want to be able to... I have a very powerful fire magic that I can just like hold in place and then just cover your escape and then just blow the shit out of anything that comes after us. I can do that. That's the thing I can do. But it's super dangerous.
Let's save that as a later thing.
Let's just go in.
Right. We'll go in.
All right, okay.
We'll take things from there.
Zaltanna's gonna march in because she knows that she's on deck to go into places first anyway.
Rhal's right there.
And then Squishy's in the back.
All right. So we have our tanks on the front
Wait,
line.
no. Before Zaltanna goes in, Belt's gonna be like, Zaltanna, before you walk in, since you're probably going to be busy beating the shit out of things, could you... I'm hurting a little bit. Could you actually, if you wouldn't mind?
She just kind of like smacks her hand on your forehead like she's feeling your temperature, and she'll heal you for 10.
Okay.
You feel tears like warming embrace as she coldly slaps you in the top of the head.
No, like
it's a very weird feeling.
Like your mom, when your mom is like annoyed with you, but you're like, because you're like, Mom, I'm sick.
I'm so sick.
And she like, and just like, you know, smacks her hand onto your forehead, and she's like, I don't feel a temperature. That's what Zaltanna's doing. But she knows that you're actually hurting, but
it's
as Balance is staying there covered in soot.
Yeah. It's a comforting mother presence and also kind of divine intervention. These kind of weird little feelings mixed together.
Okay.
And some of your wounds begin to heal over.
Oi, how's it going, bruv? This is Pinto. What's that, Mum? Yes, mother. Yes, I won't talk like that around you. Yes, I know. Okay, yes, of course. I love you too. Hello, this is Pinto. Well, that was a bit of a crazy episode. Parents are okay. I'm okay, which is also good, also a plus. And now that we're out of the Gentleman's Dueling Club, hopefully we can make some efforts on the outside. Maybe stop my aunt from being such a terrible person. Anyway, if you're interested in listening to the person who voices me, Jonathan Buckmaster, you can find him over on Taking Initiative podcast. There you can find him voicing Vandelar Greymeyer in Season 1, and in the newly released Season 2, he is the DM. The Taking Initiative crew is very big fans of the Lucky Die, and we love them and support them. Thank you.
Are you looking for a D&D podcast that'll make you laugh? How about one that'll make you cry? Sweat profusely with stress and anxiety because of a flippin' mule? Taking Initiative is a Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast with an audio drama feel. These episodes are scored, character-driven, and filled with utter bullshit. Mostly because of Nick, let's be honest. Featuring special guests, the Venture Maidens, D&D is for nerds, and more. Plus, we're in Wizards of the Coast podcast of series.
Welcome, everyone.
It's your pal Ray Ray.
That was an interesting time you had, Nick.
I pat the horse on the rump. Thank you, great-grandfather.
He just said his hopes and dreams. He didn't cast a spell.
You gotta get down deep and lift from the knees.
So that's the only big organ he has.
Damn, Taking Initiative. Look us up on Twitter at TI_pod and on our website, takinginitiativepodcast.com.